Today, for our reading mini lesson, we are talking about how a character's actions and dialogue show their character traits. Okay? Yesterday, we talked about how their actions and dialogue can show us their feelings. Now we're talking about how all of those things can show us their traits. What a character says and does shows us their personality traits. What they say, the things that a character says, is their dialogue. Okay, so the things that come out of their mouth is their dialogue. What they do are their actions. Okay, what they do with their body are their actions. What they say is the dialogue. Now listen as I read, and I want you to think about what Tim says and does as I read. Sunday after church, Tim hurried from one stinky trash barrel to the next, collecting empty cans. For the rest of the week, he had to wait until after school. Tim knew the can man always took the same route, so he started in the opposite direction. That way, he got to some of the trash barrels before the can man did. On Saturday, Tim awoke to an icy drizzle squiggling down his window. With a moan, he dragged himself out of his warm bed and into the kitchen. Tim's dad patted him on his shoulder. "Sorry, Tim," he said. "It looks like you'll have to stay indoors today." "But this was my last chance to collect cans," Tim protested. "I can't let a little rain stop me." His dad looked out the window. "Okay, but don't stay outside too long." Now think back to what I read. What are some of the things that Tim said? I'm going to give you time. I want you to type something that you remember him saying into your chat box and wait until I say waterfall to hit enter. So in case you missed it, right now you're typing something that Tim said into the chat box, and you're going to wait until I say waterfall. Remember, what he says is the dialogue. Ready? Waterfall. Now have your teacher read some of the things that came up in the chat box. Now we're going to talk about what he did. So what actions do we see from Tim? So some of the things he said, "But this is my last chance to collect cans. I can't let a little rain stop me." And what are some of his actions? Raise your hand to share, and your teacher can call on you. Did you say that he went out in the rain to collect cans anyway? If you did, kiss your brain. You might have also said that he went the opposite direction of the can man's route. You might have also said that he worked really hard to collect cans. Any of those would be the correct answer. So when we put it all together, What does his dialogue and what do his dialogue, the things he says, and his actions show about his character traits? Well, he said that that it was his last chance and he couldn't let a little rain stop him, and he went out in the rain anyway. This showed me that Tim is determined. He is a hard worker. Here are some character traits. A character might be friendly, fun, it might be brave or curious, gentle, generous. They might be sneaky or mischievous. Now let's look back at our actions and feeling chart. I added a little bit to it, okay? So if we're really looking at the can man, we're going to pay attention to Tim's behavior or his actions, okay? Tim swallowed and said, "Oh," when the can man told him he was saving money for a new coat. So his dialogue was, "Oh." Tim, his action is he gives the can man all the money he earned from the cans he collected. Tim was feeling guilty for taking from the can man. I know this because he gives the money to him. That little word, just that one word, shows me he felt guilty when he said, "Oh." And this character trait, it shows me that Tim is a kind person. I know that Tim is kind because it made him sad when he realized he was taking from the can man. Another thing that he did when he turned in all of his cans, he had a bag of money. He held the bag in his hands and he shook it. Suddenly, Tim headed outside. He went up to the can man and he said, "This money is for you." So here I see the dialogue. In his dialogue, he says, "This money is for you." In his action, he shook the money in his hand and he headed outside to give it to the can man. Once again, he was feeling guilty for taking money from the can man. I know this because he gives the money to him. This shows me that he is generous. I know that Tim is generous because he gave the money to the can man that he earned. It's true that he earned the money. Tim worked hard and he found his cans and he turned them in. But when he realized he had been taking from the can man, he switched and decided to be generous and kind. So our character traits describe the character's personality. Now, this is what you'll do for your work time. Okay? So in Saturdays and Tea Cakes, grandmother made the little boy lunch after all of his hard work. So the action was that grandmother made lunch. The dialogue, right before she made the lunch, she said, "Now you just rest up a little. I'll go make us some lunch." Okay? So now look at our character traits. Grandmother made her grandson lunch after all of his hard work. So how can we describe her? Look through all of these. Would she be selfish? Would she be shy? Adventurous? Which one fits here? That's up to you to decide. In Enemy Pie, it says, "Okay," I said, "but hold on." That's our main character speaking there. He climbed up ahead of him being Jeremy Ross, and he tore the enemy list off the wall. What is his character trait? Look through this list. What word fits there? Is he being silly there? Gentle? In the printer, the man tried to tell everyone about the fire by yelling with his hands. What does this action show us about the man? Is he being bossy? Read through that list and see what matches. And when you find it, you're going to type it in these blanks.